It's both Dare, Rising, and Aquatic AM60s. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. We have Aggressor and Mr. Man. All right, guys. Aggressor, question of the day. Most important crew skill.
Sixth sense.
Oh,
It's
come
broken
on.
necessity.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't want to be normal, but that's kind of like the most OP skill. And I have to say repairs.
Let's rephrase the question this way. Let's say Sixth Sense was automatically given to commanders, no question asked. What then becomes your most important skill?
Definitely full crew repairs. That way you can't get permatracked.
I feel like you took the wind out of Aggressor sales right there, because he's just like, okay, I guess I'll give you repairs. That's more interesting. Okay. Well, move on. Mr. Man, question of the day. Your choice. Most important crew skill.
Probably signal boosting, especially if you're already. Got to make sure you can you get the contact from your teammates across the map, so you'll be able to hit them.
Wait, do you actually run into that sometimes?
No.
I was like, for a second, I was like, you're trolling me, right?
Oh, yes, Randall.
Well, I have to check. I don't play Tier 10 Artie. I don't know if the conch has like a horrible radio for some reason. Can't see anything.
No. All right, well, we've been talking about meta changes so far with the recent patch and kind of how they've shifted things. And now that you guys have had a week to kind of adapt to them, Mr. Man, what's your take on the current meta, the mouse, the Type 5? Where do you guys kind of feeling into it?
Personally, I've always loved the mouse, so I'm kind of a fan of the meta. I think it is a little goofy, especially like mouse on mouse fights, because the way the pen rolls work. You know, if you're perfectly angled, you could still get pinned if you're high rolled. But we've been doing a lot of practice with it, obviously, individually and as a team, so we're feeling pretty good about it right now.
How do you feel about the Grill's nerf? Do you think that's going to be a tank we still see?
Yeah, I think we'll still see the grill. I think out of all the nerfs, obviously the DPM nerf is the biggest, but I don't think it'll affect it that much for the role that it plays in most matches.
All right. And then let's give Aggressor a chance to address the same deal. So, Aggressor, these new tanks, Type 5, mouse getting buffed. What do you think?
They're broken.
Yeah, let's get specific, though. Come on, give me some details. I want to know what you and maybe like take the stance of your team. What does Dare seem to think about the mouse and the Type 5?
I mean, I hate the meta, but it's pretty much you have to play it or you lose now because it's so broken. Like you can't just ignore a mouse anymore. You actually have to fight it and pray to God you win. Yeah. And I mean, like the armor is like all RNG right now.
Yep. So previously we asked you about the armored triangle, and you said your favorite answer was firepower. Then the 183 quickly deleted you, and now we got the Type 5 stepping into the meta. Do you still feel that firepower is the way to go?
Yeah, I really enjoy getting hit for 600 with no counter. It's really fun.
But do you enjoy playing the Type 5 perchance? Have you given it a shot?
No, it's not really my type of tank. I kind of prefer the more of a... Like, I can play the mouse. I just can't do the Type 5.
It's not your deal.
All right. Well, Mr. Man, any final words for your fans or Dare Rising?
Good luck, have fun, and may the best team win.
All right. Aggressor, any final thoughts?
I think that's well said. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here. We'll see you on the battlefield. All right. I can tell Aggressor is he's so thrilled about the mouse buff and so thrilled that the Type 5 got that gun. I did not think anyone was quite that had quite that opinion on it.
Yeah, well, let's see if anyone else shares Mr. Man's sentiments about most important crew skills right now as we get some more answers in there.
Eagle Eye, to see all lovely modules you've destroyed. Honestly, Eagle Eye is something really underestimated, because when you have that knowledge of, I damaged his ammo rack.
Hey, their ammo rack, or hey, their loader's dead. All right, I can go for a head-to-head brawl now and be fine.
Exactly. Or hey, both tracks are damaged. I know that it's much easier for me to track this guy if I need to. I don't have to worry about getting a track shot that, might not actually do enough.
Yeah, and there's what we were joking about earlier. Adrenaline Rush. Crew skill.
Adrenaline Rush has saved some, especially in the WGL. Adrenaline Rush has changed matches. It has changed a match from being, a mouse versus a 113 kind of situation where the mouse gets underneath.
10% bonus kicks in.
Yep, and then all of a sudden that mouse is going crazy. And so now with a lot of these tier 10s, the mouse getting a buff to its DPM. What you got this one? Randall's hat, crew swag 100% 2 OP. Yeah, protects from Artie.
So you say.
Well, I mean, adds a roof.
Oh, okay.
Helps with HE
damage. Doubt it would help at 263 much, though. It's too big a surface area to cover.
I mean, 5% is 5%.
I don't think your hat would cover 5% of a tank.
It's like it's 5% spall liner.
Don't think that helps the 263 much either, but
Every little bit helps, okay, Rockstar? Everything helps when you play light tanks.
Well, in terms of artillery, I'll never forget my first game in a 263. Just about 10 seconds. I think it was about, a minute in, cruising up along North Windstorm. And just a GW Tiger Shell right into my basket of the 263.
Oh, dude, so you got yourself spotted. On top of that, you didn't find cover from Artie. Nothing. You just stayed out in the open and just caught one.
Yep. Well, let's see if M60 stays out in the open as we head into our first map of the series.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
Meanwhile, looking at the scores.
Sorry, I was yelling at Rocks about Artie.
We'll get back into that in a minute. Looking at lineups, Dare and IS-4, 3 Bat Chats, 2 E4s, and Chase Potato in the M4043. Meanwhile, M60s, a Mouse, 2 Bat Chats, a TVP, an STRV, a Prototype. Oh, what?
Huh?
It did get buffed, so...
Did it really?
Yeah, it got a slight buff. Not enough that I think it warrants bringing it, but we'll see.
I didn't even take notes on it because I didn't think people were going to take it seriously.
Yep, and then at M53, 55 for Aquatic M60s. Anyways, as you were saying, if being in the open ever when Artie's on their team is a bad thing, I guess I'll just find a nice rock to hide behind for the whole game ever and never leave spawn. Meanwhile, Dershil trying to get over towards the north. Chase Potato's actually lit already. He may get countered by Marsh. He needs to be careful.
Oh, that's dangerous right there. I know Chase got spotted early on, but...
Oh, and look at this. Marsh is already zooming in.
And he
lets the shot out.
Oh, it lands short. Yeah, other side of the mountain. And, well, Chase knows he's safe for a little bit longer. As Master Putin has gotten a solid position out to the west, means... Chase can now back off and try to go find a target. IS-4, though, on the far side, that's Bird. He is caught out. And notice this, because Chase Potato was spotted earlier where he was, on the west side, that indicates to tanks on Aquatic where the Artie is, of course. So now they know what Artie's safe is. They know where they can go and how they can play to avoid letting that Artie be a force multiplier.
Mm-hmm. And Marsh snapped another shot off at Dark Ninja. Or not Dark Ninja, but at Nationwide. And it looks like Nationwide repositioned just in time to not take any damage.
Just in time. And now, well, the question is, will Dare try and reposition? I feel like some of these positions from Dare tanks are questionable.
Oh, and Marsh doing...
Oh, there we go. Shots into the back of Bird. Bales, though, going to take 421 for it while dealing none to the strongly armored rear of...
I wonder if Marsh snaps this off.
Oh, Chase Potato. He's
in the open. He has it.
Is he waiting for counter battery?
He's waiting for counter battery.
He's waiting for Chase Potato to fire. Chase Potato is aiming towards the hill.
He just fires it.
136.
Oh, just a little bit short.
Yeah, does track him. Damages his optics, not much else. And Chase is going to start looking for that Leo PTA as he's trying to book it out of here. Will he just kind of YOLO the shot?
Now, this double E4 defense for Dare Rising, what do you make of that?
That makes some sense, but I don't know. I don't know if the E4, or rather I should say, I'm not sure what exactly they're going for, if there's something specific about the E4 that makes this, and you get me.
High alpha.
What are they going for specifically? Why are they doing an E4 as opposed to
And
E3?
Mark fired another shot at Chase.
Why not an IS-4? Why not the KV-5? Why not a Mouse?
I mean, the thing it has decent frontal armor. It has the turret that does the first 180 degrees, unlike the E3. And it hits hard, 750 alpha. It's nothing to scoff at.
But hit points, 2,000. You could have brought something with 1,000 more hit points.
But when you have armor, Batchats, pushing you at full speed are going to struggle. You have a nice HE shell that you can use to get the resets on cap. It's a decent choice. Not what would be my first pick, but I can see what they're going for.
Okay. And if you take a look now, you can see that Aquatic M60s Rocks has decided to shift west side.
The other thing I'll say is I do like Dare actually taking the time to change up their strat. Remember, previously a couple times they ran the same strat multiple times. some different little things in there, but for the most part, it was very similar to what they had run 3 or 4 times in a row, and teams were catching on, and multiple teams, including top tier and Eclipse, exploited it. And so now they went back to the drawing board, and they tried to make some more changes, do something different, and come up with a new game plan. So we'll have to see if it works out for them.
Yeah, and now with the west side attack from Aquatic, let's start talking about how this is going to go down, because you've got all the Batchats grouped up.
And only one gun in position to punish, which is the single E4 of Durgel, I believe it is.
And Durgel, where is he? Durgel, yeah, Durgel's in the backfield there.
Oh,
now
look
that's
at this.
that's not the only tank that Durgel spotted, shot out. Marty goes over.
Durgel making sure to move forward.
And Master Putin's going to spot everything coming out here. Nice play.
But they
He'll sneak
already
one in.
But they get across. They do take some damage.
It's okay. They can afford this to an extent. All right? As long as Putin can get out.
And Veggie puts a nice shot. And MacTap just getting caught out in nowhere's land, trying to do what he can, and he finally gets isolated. Too many angles for him to worry about.
And he goes down. Now Felix is incredibly low. Well-placed HE shell can take him out. Along with
Or artillery. Chase Potato can take him out easily as well.
This is true. And we'll have to see how this goes. My little Putin's getting into position, but Bird starts taking some damage from the S-Tank in the backfield. Notice that. S-Tank's been left all the way up at A2. So he's going to be there to watch the backs.
He's there to make sure nothing rotates in. He's impossible to kill. The TVP can quickly turn and cover him, and it's just going to deny that whole north end with just simply 1 to 2 tanks, which is going to really ease the pressure off this offense from M60s and make them just worry about the tanks south, which is where Marsh and this RD is looking right now.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything out of that.
Well, he knows Chase Potato's over there somewhere, and Chase has to get a reset on Cap. That's what they're relying on. So he's waiting for him to just make one little mistake and get caught out somewhere. And Marsh lets another one go. Gets almost 500 onto that E4. Not bad.
And yeah, Chase is looking to find, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to find much of anything. He is looking in the correct grid to find Marsh and counter him out. So Artie might counter Artie at this point. But Bird is getting ripped apart right now.
And
Somewhere on the map.
Picks up Felix. Meanwhile, Dark Ninja picks up Burden Fungus. Another shot out. Misses Marsh.
And, well, the defense...
Marsh didn't even see it.
Yeah, he didn't even notice. But here's the thing. Look at the tanks alive. You got Bird down and Master Putin. 2 tier 10s down for Dare. Aquatic M60s should be able to find victory in this battle. But...
Marsh snaps another one off. Not able to get a connection. Yeah. He missed the tracer the first time from Chase Potato, so...
This,
know where he is?
I don't know if this is going to turn out to be the wisest choice, because here's the thing: you're spending all your time trying to counter battery. It does kind of shake the other Artie up, make things a little different.
Well, but here's why it's important: is that Artie is the main reset tank right now. It's why he's playing this angle all the way over here, and he actually spots the tracer this time. But Chase Potato quickly moves, so the Marsh isn't going to get shot in here. But the point is this: is the reason Marsh is focusing on so hard is because that's the easiest reset that Dare Rising have. So if he could take it out and not allow him to get any resets, all of a sudden the cap becomes a bit more viable for Aquatic M60s. And
the only way
and see, this is what he's worried about. 10 seconds on cap, and now it's going to be up to Chase Potato to get the shot off on here.
And he'll have time to get the shot off before the other Artie reloads.
And that's so much damage going on to Aggressor.
2-1, he's not going to have a lot of time. Although with Veggie taking damage, and there is a reset onto the mouse. Artillery, Chase Potato misses his shell anyway, so he's not going to be able to reset. Everyone else, though, is able to lend a hand.
But look at how much Aquatic M60s have done. They're up by almost double the HP at this point.
And the positions. Look at this. The crossfires from the Batchats, Dark Ninja, Bales. They're able to get shots where they need. Bales, of course, taking one more shell. If he takes one more, he's down. Same with Fuel Potato. If he takes one more, he is gone. 378. He just took 730. That was probably from Durgel. If one more comes his way.
Already lands short, not able to get the shot there. 30 seconds onto the cap.
And Mr. Men is moving up. The S-Tank is getting into position, and this is the last thing that needs to come together for Aquatic to get this cap. Otherwise, there's not a lot of time on the clock, Rocks. This could go to our defenders' Dare if Aquatic cannot be decisive enough to finish it off. And here
we're
we go.
Actually going to see Marsh in the artillery come forward and get onto cap and try to screen for Fuel My Potato and Veggie. He does get spotted, and he's going to be the first one down, but now that's a cover for Veggie to hide behind.
Yeah, Nationwide has to kind of plays one-on-one games against Mr. Man. Doesn't quite get it, though.
And that's
He's now diving towards cap. Not going to get it. Even makes the jump. And boom, Nationwide has died.
And that is going to be the first game to Aquatic M60s, making the series 1-0.
Nicely done.
However, this is M60's attack on mines. They were 3 for 3 on it already. So this is one of the ones we thought would go from M60s from the get-go.
This is a fair point. It was assumed this would go in their favor. Dare has a rough time on defense. Aquatic really knows the attack. Although I have to say, Dare almost managed to hold on there. And a few little connections, already something, could have changed the entire round.
Yep. And looking at how the RDs both performed this game, I don't think it really fairly reflects how much of an influence Marsh had on that game, because he was constantly making it hard for Chase Potato to do anything himself, and that the fact that they kept him out of the fight is what allowed M60s to do what they did.
Yeah, and I think we also need to point out Durgel in the E4, something that I was questioning on earlier. I didn't quite understand maybe what exactly they were going for, but looking at the post-game stats, you can see it right there.
And look at all those reset points he has to have had. 150 fantasy points, that's insane.
He defended 100 points of damage.
So he got almost all the resets.
Not quite, I believe. I believe someone else snuck some in there. There was quite a bit of capping going on, so I'll check real quick.
Yeah, but he got a large majority of it.
Yeah, My Little Putin got 15. Chase Potato got 42. So Chase did manage to reset at some point, but most of those defense points go straight to Durgel. He did a great job there. He got the connections when he needed to, especially on the right tanks. The mouse, for example, needed to go down. And I think who was it that mentioned it earlier in the interview about ignoring a mouse?
Oh, that was Aggressor.
Yeah, Aggressor mentioned it earlier, guys. Used to be able to ignore a mouse for the most part.
And
Leave it be and kill
I still
it.
think that's a viable strat in certain cases.
Very certain cases.
Yep. Well, let's look at earlier, Apex versus top tier. Look at how Ghost Town played out. What did Apex do to break that defense top tier? They ignored the mouses. They went for all the tanks on the edge, all the tanks the top tier overextended to where those mouses couldn't cover them, and they made it work. So there's certainly still ways to ignore it. Now, if you're going into a head-to-head brawl, everyone's in one giant area, including a bunch of mouses, no, you cannot ignore it anymore. Normally, you just say, the mouse has terrible DPM, it's slow. We'll just go for it last, kill everything else. Now its DPM is good enough that you have to respect it.
Yeah, and let's take a look, Rox, at a few more question of the day answers that are coming in. I'm being told we've got a few more. We've got Pat Roach 1 says, repair saved me countless times in brawls. Absolutely does. If you don't have your repair skill, your gun goes down, turret ring gets destroyed, tracks, engine, anything that's really important like that takes that much longer, and that can be the difference between making it out of a brawl and dying horribly and helplessly in a 1v1.
Yep, the other one that I'm surprised to a certain extent we
Arctic
haven't
Laser, Mentor for new crews. I like this one. Once at 100%, Brothers in Arms. That's good advice. What you do is you get Mentor on your commander, boosts everyone else a little bit, try and keep Mentor as long as you can, reset the skill. Once it reaches 100, maybe throw Mentor on there one more time.
There are countless ways we can sit here and talk about ideas to go out crews. The other con one is do stuff like repairs, smooth ride, and all that stuff through the first set of crew skills. Once you get up to 100%, retrain, give it 6 cents and a few others. Do the same thing for the second one. Once it's maxed, the second one's maxed out at 100, retrain again, give it Brothers in Arms, and then from the third on, you can just do whatever. That's like one of the really common ways to go about training up a crew. That there are a lot of people who have a lot of different takes. There's people that don't want to spend the gold to retrain crews. There's a whole lot of different ways.
You can even throw free XP at them now.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was awesome when I started out.
Yeah, they're only for special events, but when they happen, it's definitely worth taking advantage of, especially if you have a crew that's only 1 or 2 crew skills. Meanwhile, looking at the lineups coming in here, Dare Rising, 2 mouses, 3 batch Fs, an E4 and a T49 at Chase Potato. Meanwhile, Aquatic M60s, a mouse, a Type 5, an IS4, 2 bad chats, a Grill 15, and an M4043.
So we shall see. That Type 5 is something I'm going to be following because we haven't seen too much Type 5 play. And you can just see with the camo from Aquatic
the
M60s.
E4 looking, Bales is going to get spotted by Chase Potato.
Oh, no. I don't know if Morphic's going to take much. My Little Putin and Master Putin gets spotted. 697 right there. And it turns to 1138 onto My Little Putin. And just to get the position, the toll he had to pay was 2/3 of his hit points.
He definitely did not buy an easy pass.
No, he did not. Really should have considered investing in that. You always hold off. You're always like, nah, I'll just pay the toll every time. And then you look at the end of the month and you try and add it up, you realize you should have just gotten that easy pass. It was worth it. Yes, you will only go on the toll road on Tuesdays. It's too bad. You should probably just get it. Because guess what? Then you can lend it to your friends.
Fair enough.
Haven't you done that? Lent the easy pass out to a buddy who's in town?
I've had friends lend it to me.
Yeah, see? And you appreciated it, didn't you?
Yep.
It was awesome.
$5. Meanwhile,
Oh, hey,
E4
Nationwide is on the other side of the map.
pushing up. Batchet's still tucked in the bottom corner.
Yeah, he's just chilling out in the backfield. I just wanted to point that one out while the cap starts. Because we got a cap fast position from Dare.
Still feels so awkward saying a cap fast with 2 mouses being the tanks on cap.
A mouse fast? Because cat fast, mouse slow, mouse fast. I don't get
Meanwhile,
There's a cat joke in there.
T49 hiding behind these mouses. The mouses are getting reset, but it's going to be Chase Potato that has the majority of the reset points. And the Artie's actually trying to cross to get in position. He gets spotted, and he has to dive behind the rock. I don't know he's going to be able to sit up to get the resets.
Does it matter? Mr. Man in the Type 5 might just roll down the hill to get a kill. Because he's bouncing shells, and he's not even trying. Look at this thing. The shell's coming from the hill, and he's just got that angle.
Well, just look at how he's angling his armor, and
yeah.
the heat shell's just fizzing off the back.
Oh, there's one. Right into his engine deck. So he finally takes one hit.
And finally some damage comes out onto Chase Potato to reset the cap. Artie gets a splash in there as well.
Little short. They always seem to land just short. So a lot of Artie should probably consider adjusting a little higher up. Not sure. We shall see. But Bale's going to take a huge hit there. In the backfield, goes down to My Little Putin and Master Putin. Their combination of those two mediums, they will deal enough damage. Type 5 and the mouse is going to decide, you know what? Let's just do it, guys.
And
Let's just
Mr.
go
Man
down
has come over. Unfortunately, he can't back up. So now he has to go for it. This is going to force the hand from Aquatic M60s and not give them a choice but to commit right now. And Mr. Man is taking a lot of damage. Might get one more shot in here.
He does.
Another 800 into Burden Fungus. But Durgil picks up the kill onto Mr. Man. And another 600 from the Grill.
This is still workable for either team. This can go either way still. The positions from Aquatic can still hold. The problem that Dare has is they're not sitting on a lot of armor and hit points to continue pressuring the cap. And Artie wasn't taken down when it had the opportunity to reset the cap. And I think that might come back to bite Dare if they can't deal with Felix anytime soon. Because he's now aiming towards cap again. And all 3 tanks from Dare are lined up perfectly to catch an Artie shot.
MacTap takes down Morphic. Master Putin, takes down Morphic. And now Dark Ninja is going to come in behind. And he's going to be able to get some more resets for Aquatic M60s.
Shot from Felix takes out Burden Fungus, and that's going to be a mouse off the battlefield. Give it another 30 seconds, and we might see another one deleted from the sky.
And Aggressor taking so much damage, he has to pull forward off of cap. But now Dark Ninja is going to be isolated, and Durgil's just going to drive straight at him to try to go bully him. And Dark Ninja is about to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there soon. He needs to realize that as a Batchat, he's done his work now. He can probably hold on for another minute or two. Try and give some room, give some space. Or
he has the HP to take one shot, but if anyone else from... No, he doesn't. HE Shell from Durgil cleans it up. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, didn't you see him reloading on the way over there?
No, I didn't notice. I was looking at Aggressor still.
It's always tricky.
HE Shell comes into the engine deck, takes Dark Ninja out. Wasn't going to be expecting it. And now 5 guns alive for Aggressor.
Oh, Felix gets himself shot. One shell comes from the west where he can't see. It's Master Putin.
Now Chase Potato's also been reset and down to a 1-shot, 52 HP. While Putin also a 1-shot, still alive down there in the south.
And Felix, I don't know if that's so smart. As, he backs out. Marsh gets taken down by Master Putin. Grill, it's gone. Now Artie's going to go for one last shell onto cap, see if he can get a reset. There's now 4 minutes and 58 seconds left. I think what's important to note here is that the reason Aquatic M60s have been might be able to win this is because Dare actually went quite so early. And
Durgil doesn't get the pen onto Feel My Potato, and that mouse armor holding up just fine to that E4 gun.
Yes, sir. And now Felix is, well, I don't know if he's decided what he wants to do, because there's only Feel My Potato and Felix. He's trying to figure out if he wants to shoot at things that are shooting at.
Feel My Potato worried about too many different angles, wasn't able to keep his armor angled for the E4, who got the easy pen.
It's going to be over, Rocks.
And this is going to tie this up 1-1, which to me says that this series is already starting to go in favor of Dare Rising just because of the map pool.
Really?
Well, this is 1-1.
This is
a map where you really had to hope M60s got both to have a chance to stay in the series.
Well, with Murrow's one that's going to be close, right?
Well, it's typically a 1-to-1 map.
Yeah, and so it
is the most one-sided map we have in the league right now at a 70% defensive win rate. So if that goes 1-to-1, all of a sudden the series 2-2, and then looking at the maps, then we have Prokhorovka. Now M60s have beaten Dare on this map before, but I just don't see it happening this time. I think Dare are in too good a form right now.
Maybe. If this goes long, here's the thing about Dare. We give them favor on maps, but I've also given Dare or Aquatic a favor when it comes to a longer series. They've always seemed to come out ahead when you take the series and you make it last a little while. Now, Dare was a team that in the past has had trouble because when you give them a longer series, they tend to lose that energy and stay getting consistent. We'll see if that's going to happen here. That's where Aquatic can possibly come in. But look at this damage from Durzel.
5.4k damage, 2 kills, 75 fantasy points. Master Putin doing 3k, 2 kills as well, and there's 74 fantasy points. Marsh in that grill putting up pretty good damage, as did Dark Ninja. Morphic did as well. And then no one from Deja Vu outside of Mactap able to do a whole lot, really. Outside of Durzel, anyways.
The Dare tanks, actually almost every Dare tank, by the way, managed to get reset points that battle.
Yep, so they held on to that cap pretty well. And then looking at it, also how the artillery played out there for that was Aquatic M60s.
Yep.
Brought the artillery. They made it work there somewhat, but they weren't able to rely upon it. They made Mr. Man go up and over as well as the mouse. So, and plus the fact that Felix got spotted on the cross, I just don't know how effective it really was for Aquatic M60s.
I think a lot of it came down to Felix not being able to sink the shells he needed to, along with the tank destroyer Marsh, the Grill. The Grill is an okay tank, but the E4 that we saw from, I think that was from defending first Dare, the E4 that we saw them bring, I liked that. That seemed to work much better than the Grill, and it seemed to stand up to a lot more damage.
Well, let's see if Dare Rising can stand up to Aquatic M60s as we head into our next map.
Muravanka, a map with a great number of buildings, bushes and trees, amongst which teams hide for most of the battle. The attacking team begins the battle from the top of the village, and the defenders start from the bottom of the map. Both bases are better controlled from the hill near the first base, and from the green in the lower left corner of the map. There are many attack directions. The attacking team often attempts to gain the attention of defenders by putting pressure on the first base, whilst manoeuvring several tanks behind the second base to deliver fire into the defending's flank. Team setups are very diverse, but the players often choose the fastest tanks, even for heavy setups. They could even bring SPGs.
Take a look at the lineups, Rockstar.
A mouse, 5 Bat Chats, and an M40-43, and Burden Fungus playing the artillery this game. Makes my fantasy team sad. Meanwhile, Aquatic M60s, a mouse, an IS-7, an S-Tank, 3 Bat Chats, and an RU-251. Mr. Man has the most game time in the S-Tank of anyone in the league so far this season. So,
how about on the North American server?
Well, I'm just talking about in the league.
No, I just wanted to, I thought you might know.
On the server, I'm not quite sure. I know both Pompous and Dodoma have an absurd amount of games in there already, like 400 plus. Both of them have 3-marked it. So if you want to talk about server-wide averages, there you go. I believe Pompous, last I checked, was still averaging around 4k damage in it, which is
look at that
absurd.
Early damage from the M40-43, Veggie. I'm pretty sure that was already. He's already taken a little damage from early spotting. And look at this. Look at where Nationwide is, Rux. He is chilling out with an early opening run. So this is something I can appreciate. Because I don't think his spotting capabilities in the middle of the map are amazing.
I don't think he can get to the red line from there. I think it's too far.
No, he can't spot the red line. He's going to be about... He can spot out to about, like, maybe the northern part of the J line. Like, just past hotel line. So 2 grids up there. And yeah, he can't exactly spot the passive tank at the south. But he should be able to spot everything in and around the area. So it's going to keep tanks from Aquatic from being able to safely and securely keep themselves anywhere from the 4 line to east, right?
Yeah.
It's decent intel. It's not the greatest.
Look at the positioning for these tanks. They're pushing up like they're going to make a 1-2 line push here.
From Aquatic?
The Batchats are grouping up in the forest. The S-Tank's moving up into position to cover, and the Mouse is just staying as the anchor. And if they have the right read on this, they could catch this Batchat out because the Mouse isn't going to be able to get over there. The artillery, since these 2 Batchats for Dare in position.
Maybe. But that Mouse, I want to point out something about Chase Potato's position. Look at where Chase Potato is. He's actually mid-map, meaning he can actually back off and spot towards where Felix is and somehow magically miss almost all of the positions. Here come the Batchats. They are spotted. Here comes Mr. Man crossing in the open. Felix taking a little more damage. And yeah, you're right. My Little Putin is about to get swamped. But if he plays this well enough, maybe his battle buddies from Dare can support him. But there we go. There's the kill. Marsh getting it with a ram, I think.
Taking the brunt force of the damage coming out from Dare. And now Burdenfungus still hasn't been spotted. They know where Master Putin is. And I love the positioning here out of the Mouse, the S-Tank, and this IS-7 for M60s. They're holding this line along the 3 line, covering the Batchats, letting them regroup, get into new clips, and reposition. And this is going great for M60s.
And a nice shot onto Mr. Man for 600. And that's coming from Bird before he ends up going down. Felix, though, is getting torn apart, Rox. And yes, 2 tanks are down for Dare. Aquatic has that advantage. But hit points-wise, Dare still is somewhere in this. So they aren't completely done yet, but this is quickly becoming an Aquatic victory. Especially since...
Look at all this damage that they're about to take. Aggressor, Nationwide trying to run, all spotted in the low ground. Nationwide takes almost 900, 1,200, and he gets deleted by Dark Ninja. And great stuff here from M60s, a great hard counter to what Dare are doing to the split. They recognized the split, they took the gamble, they went for the push, and it is paying off in spades.
Absolutely. It's working out for them this time. They understood, you know what? We're defenders. We don't always have to defend. You can decide to dictate the pace of the battle no matter what side you're on. And this is an example of Aquatic doing that to an excellent effect. They're able to now take down Chase Potato. Later on, Mr. Man throwing one in the dirt, which we've caught here on broadcast just to embarrass him as much as humanly possible. So, Mr. Man, shout out to you and to all of your teammates who will ridicule you for that shot.
It's not like he's constant top performer for M60s or anything.
That's
he actually
why
tries to go for the ram. He gets tracked and spins in the process. Doesn't pick up the kill, though, and now Aggressor's going to shoot into Mr. Man. Mr. Man's going to try to angle his armor. Go for the shot.
Oh,
taking so much damage.
Not quite. An Aggressor tries, but not this time, as Mr. Man's going to make it to the end of the battle in his S-Tank.
That's going to make it 2-0 in M60s, but once again, just like the Mines offense victory, this is highly expected.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is something that... Actually, by the way, it's an ace, I should note. Every single tank was alive on the side of there.
Yeah, no, it's solid stuff there. Even Veggie was able to do a sizable amount of damage despite being a mouse, being slow, and having to catch up the rest of the tanks. Yeah. So overall, it was a good performance there from Aquatic M60s, but now they have to attack on Muravanka, which is something they've been had a pretty hard time on so far this season.
That can be tricky because, yes, this is a 1-in-1 map, but look at this. Aquatic now is 2 on the board. We were worried that if Aquatic wasn't able to get some early wins, that they wouldn't be able to make their way into this series. Now, since we're now at 2-1 in favor of Aquatic, I don't know, Rockstar. I'm thinking that perhaps there is a way for Aquatic to win today, but I don't know if I felt out quite where Dare is. Are they the Dare that is on top of their game, or are they the Dare that is a little bit unfocused? Well,
so far, both the losses, we said before this even started, we said these are the strong points for Aquatic M60s. Their offense on mines has been really good. They've struggled on defense. That held true. And then once again, this is one of the most one-sided maps in the league. And M60s have a great record on defense on Muravanka. So we said this was kind of expected. So provided Dare tie this up right now and make it 2-2, I still favor them to walk away with this 5-3, 5-3, 5-2.
Yeah, but if this one goes in favor of Aquatic,
then this all gets tossed up on its head, and I don't know what to think anymore.
Exactly. If this is a win for Aquatic coming next, all of our predictions, all of our assessments go out the window. Because guess what? That shows that Aquatic's got something we didn't expect to work at all. So as we get ready for, battle number 4, Rockstar.
Yep. Well, the phrase, once again, I've said it before, is, stats look great on paper, but tanks are played on the fields of Muravanka. Kind of means anything can happen.
Or in the magical forest, or in the town in the middle.
The map of Muravanka.
Because there's a field like in 2 very distinct spots, but it's not all field. It's kind of hilly.
You get the idea.
I know. I'm
Poking fun at my analogy. I got it. Dare coming in here with a mouse, 4 bad chats, 2 EP, and a Crusader SP, a pick we haven't seen a whole lot. We saw it a lot last season, saw it a little bit early this season, but past that we haven't. Meanwhile, M60s, a mouse, 3 bat chats, an S-Tank. Prototype once again by Marsh and Felix in that M5355.
And I gotta say again, Rox, let's go over the prototype from the Leopard here. What do you think of it? Is it really viable?
It's a consistent fire tank, which is what a lot of teams are going to go with, but I think the AMX30, even with the buffs that the PTA has gotten, I think the AMX30 is just a better Tier 9 consistent fire tank out of them. Combination of, the AMX30 doesn't have the giant cupola that the 30B has, so it doesn't have to worry about that. Its gun is very accurate and hits for the same alpha as the prototype. So I just don't see anything that this prototype has over it that makes it worth it.
Fair enough. I think we'll have to take that assessment into account and see how the Leo performs, whether or not it's something that kind of makes a splash enough. But a lot of Tier 9 choices haven't made too much of a splash.
Well, Brett earlier in that AMX30, he played that fantastically on Ghost Town, and he didn't even do the climb that I thought he was going to do. He was just down there rolling around the town and made it work, especially with all these slow mouses. Having a tank like an AMX30 with a good gun that does a lot of damage and having the flexibility to run away from a mouse makes it a viable option. Now, you put it onto a map like Muravanka where there's a lot of bat chats, then that's where I really start to question its viability.
All right, Brox. You know what? Because about 8 minutes into the battle, let's take a listen with Aquatic. See what they're up to, see what their strategies are. I think it's about that time.
Cat to cap is the problem.
You can always just start sending him all the way around.
I mean, if they're shooting him as they're going to cap, that means the bats are wasting shots, which means you can push them with your own bats.
Yeah, that's true.
But we have to know where they are so we can get there fast. Because if they get into a clip, we lose.
See, I'm not getting shot from forest.
They're not going to shoot you until...
Because nobody's in forest yet.
Oh, I'm getting shot from, down here.
You want me to blind fire?
It's like a bat, it seemed like. But I don't think you should blind fire it. I'm not sure exactly where it's at, because they didn't actually hit me.
It's not like I have any other vision, so I'm just going to take the shot. I load fast.
Sitting here for 8 minutes isn't the right thing to do, so let's decide something.
He's going to cap. We'll get him on camp.
I think we want the bats closer than, over here.
So that's better, because if they push up the 5 line, they can rotate. You just need to spot the 1 line early enough.
So should I rotate C1 then right now, or?
Yeah,
I wasn't lit coming in.
When he gets there, Marsh, you come down. You come back to here.
Okay. Should we be ready to push 1 line?
Yeah, we should.
Why would I come down and send him over to me?
Okay, yeah.
So we're trying to get the mouse and cap to take hits, and then we're going to push 1 line.
Yeah, and then we're going to push. That's the plan.
So should we get on the 1 line then?
Yeah, come over to me.
Well, let's leave 1 back here, just in case. I don't want them to all bring all their bats
what if the Crusader just resets me and their bats never shoot?
Well, they have to spot you with something.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can always just
they have to spot him with the mouse. If the mouse spots him, we trade that all day.
Yeah. Well, we just can't waste too much time.
Well, yeah, don't... If we get 1 or 2 shots off on him, I'm going to let you have that veggie, and we'll back up.
Hey, but if you get shot from the forest, you need to let us know, because then that is our push, our trigger to push. And then...
Crusader just fired. Oh, I'm glad I moved. He blind fired right where I was. Am I perma? No, there's no way.
Okay, if we do push 1 line, what we need to do is bring the S-Tank here, and all 4 mediums go 1 line. That's the play.
Bring the S-Tank D3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is there any chance?
I think we push 1 line. S-Tank stops here, and the other bat chat either stops there or keeps going.
No, 161. What?
What's lighting you?
Here, it was the Crusader, dude.
Where is he behind that house?
No, he's in this area, in between those 3 squares.
Well, we have to go light with shooting at him. We can't just throw him at him.
Did you see
Probably
him fire?
just randomly firing at them.
No, I thought I saw like a tree go down, but I think it had been down earlier, and it just was like sometimes the map lags. Like, I don't know. Like.
Hold on. What do we want to do? Do we want to? It doesn't matter how much damage he does. Do we want to push one line, or do you want to get like more on cap? Like.
The problem is if we get more on cap, then they just light us and fuck us.
What happens if we just push Matt here first and try to make him take a bunch of hits and then we push?
That's probably the best. That's probably the best thing to do.
Next time he resets
to 50 on cap.
Well, yeah. Why don't we just?
He's
bring
blind
him to
firing. He has no lights.
Go! Get this guy on. Get this guy on. And get another bat on, like north side, so you don't get punished. Like one guy in the mini bush, one guy on like the.
I'm not sure I can get in the bush, but.
No. The guy, one guy from the one line needs to go. Like one of you bats on the one line needs to go.
Oh.
Mouse.
Okay. Oh, he bounced. He
meant one on cap. So Dende stay here.
I missed.
I mean, he's gonna probably pen me. Oh no, he missed again. Get on.
Get on.
I'm spotted.
Attract the mouse.
Try and track the mouse.
Track him. Oh.
Blять.
Bad shots forced.
We gotta push this.
Push the mouse.
Yeah, push the mouse. We gotta push him.
Randall, they were so close.
So close, yet so far away. That's the trickiness with cap. One little hit if you don't spread the cap points.
AM60s, why? Oh, this is about to be a shooting gallery.
And they drive straight into the open. Aquatic M60s in a move of pure boldness, Rockstar. They decide forward is the best direction. Feel My Potato goes down first. Now, Durgel is being torn apart by Batchats and the Leo PTA. And it's going only okay.
And Durgel's pumped out a lot of damage. He should find the kill on the Dark Ninja. Actually, no, it's going to be March.
He's going to be taken down, but at what cost, Rockstar?
Way too much. And M60s admittedly have gotten the better of this trade almost.
Chase Potato will go down in the Crusader SP, but positioning-wise, yeah, Dare's ahead. Dare has a bunch of Batchats at reasonably high hit points. With 3 minutes left, they're on defense. They should be able to win. But, Rockstar, there's always a chance. And the thing is, there are 6 tanks alive for Aquatic.
Felix trying to stay alive. He's trying to run to this berm, stay alive, and make them work a little bit longer.
Felix may be about to go down, Rockstar.
Oh, he's going to go down, but it's a matter of making his team work for it.
And there he goes.
And Putin misses one.
He actually can't. I don't think he can see him.
He can't. He's completely unspotted.
Yeah. Milo Putin keeping himself hidden. Nicely played there. So, yeah, Artie's gone. 6 versus 5. How's this going to go? It's going to be cap. Now, engagement from Dare has to happen at once, right? These are Batchats, meaning the burst needs to come out.
They're going to put 3 on cap, and all their guns are going to be aimed at Birdfuckers, and he gets deleted. And cap, 10 seconds.
Dare didn't wait. Dare did not wait for the rest of the Batchats to get there. You need to focus that fire so that
they get one reset, but they're being punished every step of the way. Master Putin's down to a one-shot. Nationwide comes around. He's getting focused out. Bales is going to win this trade. It's going to be Nationwide going down. Aggressor's in behind. Dark Ninja's in position to punish.
3 tanks alive now for Dare. 2,300 hit points versus the 3,100 of Aquatic. 4 tanks are a mere one shot for a Dare Batchat. So, there is a chance this can go either way very, very quickly. If Master Putin lands the right shells, that's clutch. That could be it. But if he's not careful, if the tanks from Aquatic are a little bit quicker,
they're going to push around. They're going to take the gamble. They're going to go forward. 4 seconds on cap. They need to get a reset. And finally a shot comes into Mr. Man.
Master Putin gets the kill onto Bales. Nicely placed there. And he's going to be on reload. So 3 tanks alive. Now 3 tanks on Aquatic. Aquatic could have done a lot to try and keep this, but they did decide to go for cap. And they don't have the strongest positions to deal with aggression from all sides, especially with Batchats. They're mobile. They can do work. And 3 shells on my little Putin. I'm wondering if those are heat or if they're APCR.
Aggressor is going to be the key here. He has the 3rd angle that they need. Mr. Man's going to take some damage. Veggie's going to push up, but I think he's going to get picked off from Master Putin.
Quite possibly. Although my little Putin is under some pressure here. He's got 2 shells left. He's going to try and take on Veggie, but...
They just got to burn the cap. Marsh is a one-shotter. He's looking for back to Putin. Master Putin.
Oh, and look, Mr. Man gives him side turret and everything. He's got all the time in the world to put the shells out that he wants to. And now even My Little Putin gets to look for the next tank on cap. He's looking to find Marsh. He finds Marsh. He's going to even be able to sneak in here and get the kill on the move. Yes, there was a little bit of a trade going on, but now Mr. Men in the mouse has to hold this by himself, and 25 seconds left. It's over. It's over, Rockstar.
Dare just playing that perfectly, really burning down the clock, understanding that time was on their side, just slowly worked the resets. They got a little bit hasty there with giving some HP to Aquatic M60s with that cap. Nationwide arguably pushed in when he shouldn't have. But overall, they did a great job there at burning down the clock, constantly getting the resets, and now they're just not even trying to peek. They're just both running away because they know there's no way for them to cap. They don't want to be anywhere near that mouse where they can get shot. And they do a great job at closing this out, tying the series up 2-2.
Yeah. Risky move, pushing Bat Chats down the one line after you've spotted a mouse in that position. On top of that, you don't know where all the Bat Chats and other highly mobile tanks are from the defender's dare. So Aquatic, I think that they recognize that they made a mistake and they made a hasty call in pushing their Bat Chats and the Leo out in the open, paying the toll that they did to get the position. That backfires, right? Cap. That was something that was going reasonably well. And I think if there had been a little bit more pressure from the other members of the team elsewhere on the map, that could have turned into a successful cap.
Yeah, well, and the one that really, I don't want to say disappointed me, but really confused me was they were just assuming that Crusader SP couldn't be getting resets without being spotted. The thing about the Crusader SP is it has a 10-second reload. Accuracy by volume, it's a phrase we use a lot. There's no reason why that Crusader, in the 2 minutes it's going to take for a solo cap, there's no reason to expect why that Crusader SP couldn't get enough blind fire shots to hit that mouse at least once. So the expectation that he was always spotted just kind of confused me out of Aquatic M60s.
I think it was an assumption to be that was made, but the question was also asked, and then the rest of the team assumed that was true.
And
so
look at this fantasy points out of Malo Putin. We'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah,
Malo Putin 153 fantasy points. Wow, getting a lot of reset points there. Meanwhile, Mr. Man able to do decent. Chase Potato getting 70 fantasy points from the resets. Even Durgel, who's had a strong night. If you pick Durgel tonight, you are rolling in it. He's putting up some great numbers. And Aggressor even getting 75 fantasy points. So not bad there out of most of Dare.
Well, Aggressor always seems to find a way of getting some points out there.
Yep.
So actually, Rox, let's take a moment before we get into the next battle that's going to be battle number 5 to talk about some of those question of the day answers that we've got ready to go. We got Lucas Perry, always recognize that name. Controlled Impact on your 50B for some rammy ram fun. Honestly, Controlled Impact is worth it.
Yeah, especially on an E50 as well. E50
and also really nice to have when you have a tank that actually doesn't ram so well, because it helps mitigate some of that damage.
Well, even like a Leopard 1, just having something that you can go bully some light tanks with.
Here's a good one. Jeremy McDude points out a strong choice, which is armor. On heavy tanks and tank destroyers, I like to bring armor, just because I don't want to waste my kit on my gun.
Well, once your gun gets damaged, especially when you have something that's already inaccurate, like an IS-7, damaged IS-7 gun, especially when, in the current meta, say you're taking a lot of HE shells from a Type 5 to your gun mallet.
It's horrible. But if you have armor, then it doesn't matter. You can let it stay damaged. It's okay,
Absolutely. And we're going to head into the next battle of this series, which is going to be on Prokhorovka. Now, once again, this is a map that M60s have really struggled on this season. They've played it a lot, and they only have a 40% win rate. Meanwhile, Dare, they've played it less, have a much cleaner record on it.
And now, Rockstar, let's look at the lineups. We got an IS-7 from Dare, 3 Bat Chats, 2 S tanks, and a UDES as well.
M60s, a mouse, 3 Bat Chats, a grill, an S tank, and an RU-251.
So Aquatic deciding grilled isn't so bad. We can play with this. But the mouse choice is something that I'm a little torn on. I'm not sure if I totally agree with bringing a mouse, especially on a map like this, or if you see where I'm coming from, right? It's tricky. I'm not quite sure if I agree. Now, if it's to block cap on the number 2 and make it so you can hide some tanks behind
We've seen it in the other regions recently since the patch, especially on defense. They parked them up at A6 and use them as the anchors there so they can roll over and get the resets on the 1 cap. They can very quickly help the 2 cap, and I think they're viable.
This push on the far side. We've got the RU-251 leading the way. Felix is passive, spotting Durgel, My Little Putin, Master Putin.
And now they know where they are, and My Little Putin taking a lot of damage. 1,300! He's down to a one-shot!
And the trap is sprung, but guess what? That is Felix sneaking another shell in there to finish him off as the scout, the RU-251 for Aquatic, playing his job well. And the follow-up for this, Durgel's taking a lot of damage.
Takes a big shot from the grill, and now they know where those 2 Bat Chats are. And now the Mouse is rolling in, and the Mouse is going to be able to shut down Burden Fungus. As soon as he can get here, he can 1v1 him, and that could just put this in favor of Aquatic M60s. They're already up by 4,000 HP.
Already up by quite a margin, but the thing is they do need to make some work happen. If Felix sticks around, he's going down. Give him a second or two longer, and he's dead, right? This scout's going to die. That's all your vision gone. It's not going to be staying around for long. There's a timer on this. There's an expiration date on the lights that you're getting, on the spotting, on seeing your opponent. Once Felix goes down, that's vision right there.
Gressler does pick up Felix.
But look, Aquatic should be pushing in right now, and then, yes, that looks like it's the Bat Chats are going to move in for the kill. They recognize they can't let this stall out and lose the momentum that they've already earned for themselves. Master Putin goes down. Now it's up to Nationwide to die. And the finish from Dark Ninja comes in. This is very cleanly in Aquatic's hands.
Great hard counters, good research out of M60s, executed this near perfectly. The only thing I didn't like was once they realized where all those tanks were, I don't see any reason why Field My Potato shouldn't have just gone in on Burden Fungus and just bullied that IS-7. He has this Mouse at point blank. He has the DPM over the IS-7. He has the armor over the IS-7. And at point blank, there's nothing for that IS-7 to do. So I think
he's just trying. Maybe just trying to play it smart. You know,
Yep.
there's a certain there's a degree to which maybe the fight on the east side could have gone very poorly.
Yeah, but the IS-7 was allowed to get into the fight and get some shots, which if he had been busy, that would have bought time for M60s to take advantage of.
So it's something to work on.
Keep the gun out of the fight. I think there was definitely some more involvement that this Mouse could have had, because it's only the Udis in the distance shooting at him. They didn't know where he was, and the Udis against a Mouse isn't something I'd necessarily worry about.
Fair enough. I think also to Feel My Potato's credit, it's a Mouse. He took a while to get there.
Yeah.
So,
well, he stopped to aim in once he was about halfway there, which I disagree with. I think he should have just kept triple tapped on the R and just kept on going and gotten in there.
But if it was a west flank coming in from the EF line, that's the only thing I could think of that he might have been thinking about. He could have been assuming an EF line push.
But he has the turret armor to deal with that in last.
I'm not saying that it's like the greatest idea, but it makes sense where he's coming from.
I kind of get it, but at the same time, I still think that it would have been worth the HP to just push in there.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for Dare. Aquatic M60s is going to put point number 3 on the board.
Now, remember we said if M60's got to win here, we kind of had to just, forget everything we've already said. So, M60's...
It just happened, Rox. It just happened right there. So, you've got solid damage by the Bat Chats. The grill, by the way, is showing from Marsh that the grill is not out yet. And, yeah, everything's out the window. We swap sides. It doesn't matter. Aquatic might run away with the win. Dare might run. I might get them mixed up on trying to figure out what side of the camera they're on. But, guys, this is already out the window. So Dare was expected to win tonight. Aquatic's always been a good team, but lately they have not shown the kind of play that they showed here. This was the first truly decisive moment that said, okay, Aquatic knows what they're doing. They've got a strat. This is it. And this really, really worked. Last battle on attack didn't work out at all. That was a huge flop. This time it paid off.
Yep, and the fantasy points a little bit of a letdown there. Only Dark Ninja able to put up some solid points. Bales 65 is respectable, and then Burden Fungus top score for Dare Rising. Only able to get that 2400 once again. It's damage that he probably shouldn't have even done to begin with. Chase Potato getting 2 shots, not really making that Udis worth it. It's a decent passive scout, but in the position he was in, not a whole lot he could do.
Yeah, he didn't really get to do much of anything. He got taken out so early. That's really...
Chase?
No, I thought he's Milo Putin.
Oh, yeah. No, if Milo Putin, he definitely got caught out on that slope, not expecting Felix to be up there. And I love the spot out of Felix.
Oh, yeah. That's really a solid position. If you're going to do an early scout run, though, on Proc, that is incredibly risky. What you're depending on is that no one decided to cross the tracks and then stay along the tracks on the east side there. Oh, Tim Hamlet says BIA.
Everything works better.
When you work together, sharing is caring.
Yep.
It can be fun, especially crew skills.
Yep, exactly. So, once again, it's one of those things that doesn't kick in until it gets to 100%. So if you have the goal to train up something and then retrain it with BIA once it's gotten to 100% and then put the next one on the new one, that's kind of the better way to go about it, because otherwise you're just without a crew skill for a while you grind BIA, which is a pain.
It's not a pain. That we're about to get into battle number 6.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7.
Take a look at these tanks.
Lineups coming in. Dare, an IS-7, a Mouse, 2 Batchets, an STRV, a WZ, and a Batchet AP. Meanwhile, Aquatic AM60s, an S7, a Mouse, 3 Batchets, an S-Tank, and an RU-251.
And that RU-251, that's Felix heading out to the middle for a scout run.
Both teams bringing a Mouse on Prokhorovka.
Never did I think I would see the day.
And Felix going for the bold opening scout run, but no one's in.
Aggressor is spotted. The Mouse is spotted. If there was Artie right now, Artie would be so happy.
But guess what, Randall? There's no artillery.
I know. Guys, this is why scouts are not as strong.
And there's no rival strats coming out here. There's no one on this middle ridge to punish him, and he makes this cross.
It's all west side, best side.
Yep, they're
all
both teams in position. And are we going to see... We saw this strat out of 07 in Arclit the other day. They just put the WZ out in front, pushed down the one line. And it looks like we're about to see the same thing with the S-Tank creeping in behind, the Batchets to cover. And I think they're just going to wait on the Mouse to get in position on the mid to cover, where he could poke up off that top ridge and really pump out some shots.
Oh yeah, Aggressor's halfway there. Almost 2 minutes into the battle. He's almost arrived at his designated position, and we will begin by listening in with Dare to see what the plan is.
So, if they're not flexing, should we try to work on this side?
What do we do if they dump 3 on 2 cap right now?
We're on attack, so it'll be okay.
Fuck.
Lol.
Should I be poking the mid?
Guys, I'm gonna attack this reach. Okay.
Take Mac with you.
Yeah. We just have to get some in from Mouse if you can poke. Where are they shooting from? Something.
Poke and then start blind firing A6. Aggressive.
What's
like
up?
Yeah.
Blind fire A6, like in the back of the rails. Try to get that CRV if he's back over there. Yeah.
Shooting, spotted. Spotted by probably over here. It's this bush. It's that bush. Has to be
on the lane.
Yeah, it's the lane bush with IS-7.
Listen, I'm moving towards the hill.
Oh yeah, the bush that we use.
Yeah, it's the one we use for sure.
It's hard to explain where it's at. We probably won't be able to get damage.
I can't hit it. I can't hit it without taking damage is the problem.
Yeah, and I don't think we can blind fire from here. I think it's too You should be letting the Batchet AP spot the hill, MLP.
I'm poking kind of high.
Not getting spotted on the hill.
There's IS-7.
He's there, so that means it's the RU on this side.
Okay.
If IS-7 plays closer, that means they're actually stuck on this side. Putin, you know how to check for these bushes? Can you try it?
6.5 minutes.
From where, Putin? From here, you mean? Or?
No. I want to take the risk and try to... Or we just push one line blindly. It's just super risk for me to start... What?
Don't push. Don't push one line.
Okay.
Then are we going to flex out and go 2? Cap?
No, we're gonna split.
Alright.
Well, we need to start moving soon.
It's fine, man. 6 minutes.
Not a lot of time.
I mean, I can try and make it to that bush right now, Putin. Well, no.
No,
you guys are alone.
Come on, stop.
Yeah, don't do anything super risky.
Guys, you see, I'm like taking this side of weapon, not getting.
Are you lit at all?
Okay, they're one line.
Yeah, they're all one.
I'm gonna move over here.
So you want to take the one line?
Yeah, do it. Putin, remember how we baited them on second cap? Try to do this, and then we push in one line. Guys, remember? We'll get Putin on cap. We'll get Putin here. When they start flexing, Mouse will spot them, and then we'll push one line with like I7, VZ taking this, Surf taking mid.
Okay.
Come on,
Wait
get the mouse here, so he can go here. Maybe, what do you think? Maybe get I7 just mid? Maybe get I7 just mid to spot this, and VZ with Surf will push in one bet, we'll take this. Let's go, we just have to take them back 5 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah.
You on me, okay?
Not yet.
I have 7 shot.
But we have to worry up. moving now. I mean,
Just Luigi and me can take the one.
I7 shot. I'm spotted.
And
He's
me.
shooting at me.
come on, move up. Putin, go
Once
on
they
cap.
start to
Putin, go on
flex
cap.
out.
Putin, go on cap. Putin, go on cap. This guys, I think you have to move up a little bit. I7 play mid.
Yep.
Mouse play mid. You have to spot this.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Putin, sit in the bush. Sit in the bush. Okay.
Spotted.
One
chase.
reflex and we have to punish them.
And some shots going out towards Feel My Potato. Damaged gun on the first shot he takes.
Yep, but look at this. The push is coming in. Bat jets are moving forward. And, looks like they're going to pull out of their attack and back off, deciding to go north instead. Because of that, I don't think Dark Ninja or Marsh will get spotted. And so, because of this, well, they're not going to get into the engagement Dare wanted them to. They won't fall into the hands of Dare this time. They'll take the safe route, go back north. This is a smart play by Aquatic, good read. They understood that there's probably a trap. They should probably not fall for it.
Some blind shots going off towards Mr. Man. Lucky to not be spotted.
But look at this. My little Putin should be able to spot Bales as he comes up and over. He does. And he may
The
put
thing is,
fire.
Bales can just push into the riverbed and not take too much damage.
And he's going to actually not even take any damage from my little Putin yet.
Missed shot, and a lot of missed shots coming out of MLP right now. And now they're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Master Putin. And Mount Marsh taking a good bit of damage from that bat shot caught up on the high ground. But now they know that Bales, or Milo Putin's reloading. And so they should be able to put some pressure on him because there's no guns covering him right now.
Exactly. And they're even going to leave Milo Putin just to rejoin the rest of the fight on other parts of the map. Because guess what? Mr. Man's been pumping out damage left and right over on the backside. He just is finally getting the support he wanted. But I'm not sure if this is going to go in the favor of Aquatic or Dare. You've got less hit points on Aquatic, but that's more due to tank choices, right? And you've got plenty of armor and hit points on the side of Dare, but that's because of their lineup. As far as it goes, damage dealt, it is going in favor of Dare now, but this can still go either way. No, Dark Ninja's taking too much. This is over.
Yep.
Look at that.
I like the first read, the flex over towards the 7-8 line. I think that was a great play. They got a good pick.
Dark Ninja 1v1ing on Chase Potato. Sorry, gotta call that one out.
Yeah, no, go for it.
It's and now he's got one more shot he can put to Durgel. All right, opening the window. We've still got something happening here.
And don't underestimate the mouse that M60s still have alive. And now Mr. Man going 1v1 with Milo Putin. Aggressor able to get shot in there to kill him, though. And that should finish it out. 2 minutes left. They do have to kill Feel My Potato.
Yeah, they have to actually get that done, but they've got plenty of time to make it happen. And Feel My Potato is more than happy to oblige by poking his turret out and taking a few shells.
Yeah, but it was that.
What other choice does he have?
It was that second call for Aquatic M60s I wasn't a big fan of. After they got the kill onto Master Putin and they knew where Milo Putin was, they called the flex back out. They were all spotted. All the guns were on that middle ridge, and they got off way too much damage. And I think that was the moment where that battle really turned from M60s to Dare.
I think so, because for a long time, Aquatic looked like they knew what was happening. Their response originally when they crossed in the backfield was fine. Just, yeah, you're right. When that one moment is when everything just turned on its head.
They had Mr. Man covering their I7 and their mouse. So, yeah, those two may have gone down, but if they had sent two bat jets around to kill Milo Putin and chase him out and kill him, then all of a sudden that opens up the map for them. And they could still, at that point, close it out.
Yeah, it works out. So Dare's able to even this one up a little bit more. So keeping this one close, it's still 3-3. And shout-outs to Aggressor for doing 3,300 on that one. And then shout-outs to Feel My Potato. The mouse, of course. The Moisen were the two tanks which dealt the most damage.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way they played it, the way they flexed around, worked that ridge line, able to just pump out and use that DPM that the mouse has now. It comes out to... what is that? I think it's like 3,000 DPM. Yeah, 3,000 DPM max if you're running rations, BIA, RAM, or events, which that's insane.
Yeah, and then it kicks up a little more if you happen to get yourself below 10% hit point, turn on that adrenaline. Little things everywhere help. And the thing is, the mouse is actually a tall enough tank that in so many places on the map, you actually don't have to worry so much about your gun depression because you're just so tall, the little hill in front of you isn't a problem. You've got a platform. Your whole tank is just that big, whereas you're used to seeing I7s, bats, things like that, which are much closer to the ground and therefore have to worry much more about the terrain's minute details and how they affect your depression.
Right, and looking at it, we're going now on to Ghost Town.
Yeah.
This is a map that M60s have performed terribly on this season.
But with the way this series is going, and we said this already, it's out the window, Rocks.
What has to happen is they need to get one round of the next 2 to force overtime. And remember, if Dare want to get that second place to the offline regional finals, this is a huge game for them. They have to win, because guess who their last match is against?
Oh, that's, I don't remember. What? Did you question me? Oh, Apex, of course. Yeah, that's the big thing about it. We were looking at these earlier and saying, okay, who can jump over who and do what? But
Dare need a clean 3 points to have a shot still.
Yeah,
that's to even just have a chance.
Yeah, and the thing is, they won't be out of the playoffs for losing. But what's going to be important is they may lose a crucial position. And second place, by the way, means you don't
play in the online finals. You get to come here to Burbank to play in the offline regional finals. Apex have already secured their spot for sure.
Yeah.
And last season we watched M60s choke against 07. It was the third versus sixth place.
That was something no one expected, and all of a sudden 07 showed up at our finals.
Yep. So that you want to avoid that the online playoffs if at all possible, because that can happen. Because once again, I said it earlier, stats look great on paper. Unfortunately, tanks are played on these battlefields.
Exactly. And looks like we're getting ready for what could be the final map of the series. Let's head into what is battle number 7.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
In case you guys haven't seen enough mouse so far tonight, here are 9 mouses that are going to square off against each other, along with a Type 5 and a T49 for Dare, a Batchat and a 183 and a UDIS coming out for Aquatic M60s.
So, hey, Rox. What's
up?
Did you know they buffed the mouse?
Just a little bit.
Did you hear about that? I think the players of Dare heard. I think they heard about it.
I think they figured it out.
Yeah. Did you know about that? I think they. Yeah.
I think they picked up on it.
Yeah, just a little bit.
That's why they're here, Randall. They pick up on it. They put in the time to learn, make sure that
Sure.
Yeah. I'm sure they figured it out. Now I do question the 183 pick out of M60s. I don't know how. They only brought 4 mouses and then 183, so I don't know how much homework they've really done compared to Dare, because Dare just went 5.
Do you know did they do all of their own homework?
I'm sure they had to.
Did they find the answers online?
Maybe they've paid someone to tutor them.
Hey, don't make fun of tutoring.
No, I'm not. Just saying. Could have.
There's no shame in getting a tutor. Some people have trouble studying. Why do you think Comps is helping Elite Apex? It's the best tutor ever. All right, back on subject here, guys. Let's talk about why this many Moisen.
It's not like we're in a hurry to start talking about this battle. It's going to be there 2 minutes before they get into the fight.
Hey, they're already at the middle, and tanks. Look, Aggressor's already getting on the cap. Look at that. And now 1 minute has passed. Ha! Look at how fast the mouse is. It's already on cap. And they're going to stack up in a choo-choo train of death. Dark Ninja will approach.
Cloaking device activated.
Woo-wee.
There they are. Found them.
Yep. And Dark Ninja's going to peek out, take 419, get himself hit. Totally worth it. Looks like he's able to mitigate enough, but Bales, somewhere on the map, is taking a lot of damage.
Well, he's 1v1ing against Burden right now, and he should be able to clean it up. He took one big shot, but he should win that 1v1.
But he misses one crucial.
And remember, Dare started off with 3,000 more HP than Aquatic M60s. So M60s already doing a great job at starting to claw back into this, really punishing these tanks on cap.
And wow, look at that 428. That's HE straight to the face. And just the damage coming out here with the hit points from Dare. This is This is a surprise. I don't know how to read this. It's just heavy derpy heavy fights. I don't even know. There goes Marsh. Marsh is down. Focus fire from all the mouse. They hit hard enough that you put enough of them on a battlefield, they can just nuke a tank every time they reload.
So while they are going to trade out onto Mr. Man, Chase Potato goes down to Felix, and Mr. Man really making him work for it. However, HE doesn't care about armor.
Burn! He's on fire! He's lit up. Mr. Man is going down.
And this is still an even fight. 4-on-4. Durzel's down to a one-shot. The Udis is still up on the boost for AM60s, so they need to find a way to get him involved. Because no one can take down Durzel right now.
Oh, no, he actually has shots. He has an angle actually on the middle.
Another HE shot into him. Feel my potato. Milo Putin's just going to push up and over. And now Milo Putin has the downward angle. He bounces off the side of the turret. Oh, what is happening? And now there's actually an extra gun alive for M60s, and they can take Durzel down pretty quickly, so this isn't out yet.
Oh, and look at that. See that shell coming from downtown? The UDES Morphic does not even have My Little Putin in his draw distance. His game is not rendering the tank, but he's still blind firing for it.
And finally, it only takes Milo Putin 3 shots to take down that mouse. And now Durzel's down, still to a 1-shot.
And guess what? Bales and Felix are really the only tanks left. Morphic's in the backfield trying to do something, but as you can see now, all of the angles he's had are gone. It's all gone. Nationwide spotted in the mouse. Tiny bit of an angle from the hill, actually, surprisingly enough. And Nationwide's just going to back out.
That was not pretty, Randall.
That was not pretty at all, Rockstar. That was chaos. That was the slowest moving cluster of stuff I've seen in
like trying to watch a bunch of weightlifters do like ballroom dancing. That's what it looked like. Just extremely clunky.
It's not even that they're bad at dancing. It's just that they're so big. Yeah,
and awkward looking.
And the building is probably not built for people of their size. I'm sure you're used to that, being a tall person, finding out that the doorway is just 2 inches too short.
Yep, definitely hit my head multiple times.
Exactly.
Also, old cabins up in the mountains tend to have very small ceilings.
Built for a time when people were shorter.
Yep, I do not fit in most tanks because they're not designed for people 6'4".
Yep, I'm sorry.
The Chieftain made it work, though, and he's like 6'2", so...
Well, he's barely fits it. And the thing is, like, I've seen him get into a tank. That he does not have necessarily a fun time in that. Now, back to this. It's fun time fitting into a tank. He's a tall guy, like you said.
And they do take down Felix. Now, Morphic is going to... Oh,
look at you. Almost flipped his tank. Not quite. And now, check this out. Dare. Remember, Dare, our red team, is attacking our blue team with Morphic. Bales. They're defending. If we'd see them delay the cap right here, right now...
9 seconds. And he's spotted. Doesn't get the reset. 5 seconds. This is over. Morphic is not going to be able to get in there in time to do it. And that's going to make this 4-3 in favor of Dare. M60s now have to attack on Ghost Town to have a shot at forcing overtime.
And if I remember correctly, that's not something that they're known especially well for doing. So this could be it. Dare might be able to hold on in a long series for one, showing us, yes, they do have a chance to beat Aquatic M60s in an extended series. And additionally, we've seen that Aquatic does know how to play on attack, defense, attack again. It doesn't really matter. So Mine's Muro proc, they take 1 off of Dare, where they are expected to be at this point having lost the match. So a lot of credit here to Aquatic. Dare is, though, showing that they might be the better team here today. What do you think, Rox? Do you think this battle was a huge tell? Because it felt like Aquatic should have been able to hold on and win in some ways, but it also felt like Dare's strategy with just that many huge, well-armored tanks that you were just going to roll over your opponent based on that alone.
I think you're on site. I think this was more a lineup win than how they played it. Oh, we'll get back to that in a second, because Milo Putin, 100 fantasy points, 4k damage, and 2 kills. Felix doing there 3,500, 81 fantasy points. Bales, 92 fantasy points, not bad there. And then looking at the second page.
There you go. Now, I want to actually jump off this and take a look at something. The amount of damage MLP blocked, 2,250.
Not bad.
Right there.
6
Then
block shots.
880 by Durzel, 3,000 by Nationwide. That's a lot of damage that didn't happen. There's about 5,000, 6,000 damage that could have happened that didn't. And so that's something to consider here, because when you run into a game like this, now you can start criticizing your players or really start focusing in on someone's ability to make a shot pen versus not.
Yeah, well, Milo Putin also had 3 bounce shots of his own onto Feel My Potato.
Yep.
And once again, it comes down to the lineups. Because they had so many slow mouses, they couldn't flex around the map to help out Feel My Potato. So even though he was bouncing shots, there wasn't enough to trade it out and capitalize on it.
Exactly. You want to try and find those little efficiencies. Yes, putting a mouse out there is great. Maybe 2 is necessary. 3 or 4, maybe you could look into picking another tank, right? Something else to complement that choice as opposed to, well, kind of just throw more of the same, as it were.
Well, we're going to have more of the same as we go into our next battle, because both teams opting to bring a whole lot more mices. Moisten. 4 from each team, along with a Type 5, a Batchat, and an M40-43. Meanwhile, Aquatic M60s, 4 mouses, a T57, a Batchat, and a T54 lightweight. So the mobility edge definitely goes to Aquatic M60s just for having that extra Batchat along with the T54 lightweight.
I like how you said mobility edge as I look at 8 Moisten and a Type 5.
Well, once again, I said earlier, we were talking in the previous match, it comes down to flexibility and being able to get around the map, and that's where this comes into play. We watched how Apex made the 2 Batchats essentially key to how their strat played out, and it really paid off. So we'll have to see if Aquatic M60s can do the same, as they need this win to force overtime. Otherwise, it's going to be Dare walking away with a 5-3 victory, which is a huge 3 points that they really need to try to get that second place spot, because Eclipse have a much easier match on next week against 07. So that's a matchup where you think they're definitely going to get those 3 points.
Yeah, and I think Dare right now walking away with a win like this is great for them. Aquatic really needed this, but I think this might crush the hopes and the dreams of Aquatic of changing their place before going to playoffs, right? It's just we're gonna have to see what happens right there. Now, let's just appreciate for a moment, Rockstar, that these mice are just so beautiful driving on their way to cap. Both teams know exactly what to do. It's like instinct. They're like migrating birds or turtles. Yeah, let's go with turtles. They're much more like turtles than birds.
Yeah, I think that's one way to look at it. Turtles hatching from the sand, walking towards the water.
Also, adult turtles migrate. Don't you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just like a bunch of loggerhead turtles, they're just making their way back to the homeland.
The EAC.
Yes, the E. What does that even mean?
I've never seen Finding Nemo.
I can't remember what it. I just can't remember.
East Australian Current.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not from California, so I thought it was like a California thing for a second.
No. It's just a Finding Nemo joke.
Okay.
And these mouses now down to the 8-minute mark, finally closing on cap. Only 2 of them are going to jump on to start. Felix is going to play out kind of wide, covering the Batchat and the T54. And what we may see here, very bold play from M60s. They're just going to push the Batchat and the T54 straight down the 1 line, and they may catch Burn Fungus out.
Although Mr. Man takes about half of his hit points from combined fire of the mice from Dare.
Plus the artillery, and now they don't even know, they don't see it. These 2 tanks are about to take out this Artie, and there's no one here to cover him.
Oh, Bird. Does Bird have any idea at all about this?
No, he has no idea.
And he's not even loaded. Doesn't stand a chance. And, well, it was fun, Bird. And there he goes.
And Felix is in position to shoo up Aggressor as he pushes in here. And now it's just going to be down to Bales and the 54 lightweight to get in here. Dark Ninja is going to get caught out. Feel My Potato is going to try to get some shots, and they're just going to tuck in.
Look at this. Bouncing. Oh, Felix needs to make a connection. Doesn't deal almost any damage onto Aggressor.
Trades going back and forth, and they're bottlenecking them in this one alleyway, and they're doing a great job at simping HP. Now Bales is in.
And there we go. Nice little timed movement there from the members of Dare, focusing on Mr. Man. But look at this. Marsh is finally joining the fight. Means there's a tank now firing at the rear of these heavy tanks from Dare, trying to hold off on this defense. But it's going to come down. I think that Batchat you were talking about, the mobility is starting to come into play. Take down the Artie. It's gone, right? Yep. Now you can bring that T-54, bring that Batchat, have them help.
And they need to find a way to kill Aggressor because he's the one out in the open breaking all these different angles for M60s. So they need to find a way to get him down quickly and then trade with everyone left on one side of him. Dark Ninja's down to a sliver of HP, 81. Bales is reloading right now, trying to flex around and open up a new angle. However, Milo Putin's going to reload before him and should cut him off and also have shots on to Feel My Potato.
Oh, this is going to get close. Starting to whittle down a few of those mouse. Dark Ninja, if he can stay alive a little longer, this is huge for his team. And look at that. A few misses, a few bounces. Veggie takes down Aggressor. My Little Putin takes down Dark Ninja all in an instant.
It's a 4v3. Marsh trying to do what he can. Veggie did a great job there trying to block these mouses. Bales is going to come in behind and open up. Feel My Potato's left alone, but My Little Putin's not going to have any shots. So now it's just down to these 3 tanks. They know that the Batchat's reloading, so they need to ignore him and really focus on these mouses, which is not easy because they have so much HP.
Yeah, and I really want to see Bales push in because I know he's trying to play it safe, but he really needs to get these connections in and get out of a fight soon. He's looking for it, making the connections he needs to into this mouse. One more.
They're trying to find the kill onto Chase Potato.
Oh, barely not going to do it yet. That T-54, though, from Marsh, that's
playing that really well.
It's scary. This is a rough position for a
now,
T-54.
Milo Putin's going to find Bales. He's going to force him out. The Bats, he tracks him around the corner. And now it's a 2v1, and Milo Putin's going to finish this off, and now it's just down to the mouse. Milo Putin has full HP.
Versus a mouse.
See,
that's the tricky part. This is a Batchat versus a mouse. The Batchat can win. The Batchat, all he has to do is delay the match for the next 5 minutes. And so Feel My Potato is now placed in the ring, and he has to hold for 5
minutes. Look at all this carnage that he has around him.
All this room for activities, Rockstar. Look at all of this.
Look at all the angles that he can stay safe from.
So much room for activities. Oh, it's great. I'm loving it. Okay, and look at that. He's going to start base building, ladies and gentlemen. Feel My Potato knows what's up. Just turn the dead mouse. Create, this will be the foyer. And over here.
Why is Milo taking this now? He has to make every single one of his shots count.
I think Feel My Potato wasn't quite paying attention because it looks like he was actually caught off guard. And My Little Putin, I don't want to say that. My Little Putin is going to be able to play some turret games, and Feel My Potato just shoots the gun. You just shot a dead mouse gun.
He has to get his armor turned because he's not going to bounce anything. The heat shell's coming out of My Little Putin.
He knows this is not
He bounced
good.
one. He gets another.
I think it's over, Rox.
Nope, because he missed that one shot. Now he can't kill him.
Oh, but now he just comes back once more, and it should be done. I mean, My Little Putin has 1248. Feel My Potato has to connect for how much damage?
1,200 he has to get off, so it's going to be, even if he loads HE and manages to pin it, that's still going to need...
He'll still need 2 or 3 shells to connect, right? My Little Putin could mess up, and I think the only thing I could think of is like My Little Putin accidentally ramming into Feel My Potato, or if somehow Feel My Potato can get him wedged up against a dead mouse behind him and possibly turn his tank sideways with the pressure.
Yep, the pressure is now on for Milo Putin. He has to get in here. Make this happen.
Which way shall he go? And Feel My Potato, I love this. It's like he's got like an idle animation on himself. Oh, and he's facing the right way this time. Milo Putin's going to try and move.
He bounces the first. He's going to back up. Misses the second.
The jukes. And Feel My Potato is turned sideways. Gets connected. My Little Putin's able to save the day, and Dare will finish out the series 5-3. This was a lot better of a match than I could have ever hoped for. I thought this was going to go to Dare initially quite one-sidedly, but Aquatic showed up today, Rock.
So much damage in this match. So much damage.
5,215 damage from Feel My Potato.
And then another 4,946 plus 4 kills out of My Little Putin.
Yeah, very top-heavy. And I think also because we brought the healthiest heavies, we also had so many hit points to play with. Everyone gets to put up great damage numbers except for Felix and the T-57. I think that T-57 choice was a mistake, especially like a technical mistake. Lineups that we're seeing with this many mouths, you aren't going to pen very well.
Well, you have the heat shell. I don't necessarily... It's not so much the T-57 pick I disagree with. It's just how it was played.
No, well, okay. You can make that argument. I really think there are better tanks to choose for against mouse. If you're choosing a T-57 when you have other options, that's my criticism right there.
Yeah, T-57, though, has that raw DPM, 3,300, that it can edge out over the mouse.
That's fine. Is it effective against mouse?
Wasn't in this game. But once again, we can sit here and talk about it. We'll get back to that in a minute, though, because look at Milo Putin. 170 fantasy points. Got so many resets in there. Meanwhile, Mr. Band, one of the consistent performers for Aquatic AM60s not able to get into that fight. Neither was Master Putin or Burden Fungus. Burden got taken out early. Only got that one connection early on to Mr. Man, who went down first tank for Aquatic AM60s.
And I think that we have to then take a moment and actually point out the fact we talked about this beginning of that last battle. Mobility was key. The fact that there was that slight mobility edge, and then all of a sudden, boom, party's down. And then you see Model Putin, the one tank left alive at the end of the game, that's able to clutch it.
Yep, and I do have to also say Bales definitely should have done a little bit more damage. Looking at on the night, Model Putin, top performer, 621 fantasy points. Not bad there. Dark Ninja, Durzel, Nationwide. Ox, top for Apex, then Aggressor, and External, the top 7 for tonight. Not bad there. And then also, Bales, feeling Tato, Mr. Man, performing well. Brett doing pretty well. Pretty good as well. Not great, but still holding.
But the fantasy points these guys put up this time are phenomenal. I think they can. You'll feel pretty well if you stacked the Aquatic versus Dare match.
Yep, definitely. Well, with the amount of mouses they brought and the fact that this was a 5-3 series, so much HP on the field.
Yeah.
And now what I was going to say real quick is Bales fired 10 shots, only penned, I believe, 6 of them with 2 bounces from the 8. So you kind of got a question there, being the bat chat with those angles. Needed to be a little bit cleaner, I think, with those. Because when he came in at a really crucial time when damage needed to be put out.
Yeah.
And so, just kind of, would have liked to see a little bit cleaner there.
Oh, okay.
But he played well on the night, so you can't, put too much of a focus on it. But, maybe if he'd been a little more effective, taking a gun down might have turned it around.
Okay. Well, we are actually going to be joined now by, I believe, Aggressor, representing his team. I'm being told we have the interview here. Aggressor.
What's up?
Well, we just saw that match, and I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts. We thought it was going to be a little more Dare-sided. Turned out Aquatic was able to actually show up today. What do you think?
I mean, the mouse definitely makes the, not being cocky, but I think the mouse definitely evens out the game a little bit more because it's a mouse, I guess.
Mouse 1v1s are the true test of skill, right?
Yeah, maybe if there wasn't RNG, but that was crazy. That was a crazy last game.
Yeah, dude. Why did you guys start doing this little Cold War of mouse? Was that your intention before coming to this match?
I guess. I mean, I'm watching the game right now. I drove out into the open in 1v5. It was pretty cool.
What were you doing out there? Were you just dancing around, and be like, they're not even looking at me?
No, I can give you. So the 57 came up, and he started shooting me, right? But then I knew the batch was coming from behind me, so I had to swing my whole tank around and shoot. He was shooting me. I was trying to bounce him. And the only way to get out was to just back up. I had to.
You ended up looking up and realized you backed out into the entire brawl.
I knew where I was, but
yeah.
I thought I was going to die a lot quicker, but it was crazy.
Yeah, well, at least by doing that, he was turning the guns from Dare, from the rest of your team, because they're all bottlenecked in that one entranceway. So at least if you were going to take damage, it was making it so the rest of your team could get more damage off.
So I guess there's this. What are the big takeaways from this match? Lessons learned off the top of your head.
I mean, the first game we played, we screwed up on the resets for the cap with our E4 strat, which I think went really well until they got on cap, and then we screwed up. And then the next takeaway is that the mouse is broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just welcome the new mouse meta. Praise our new mouse overlords.
Welcome to mouse. That's it.
Is it Mousepalooza? Mouseageddon?
Mouseageddon.
Yeah. What's the news line? Mouseageddon. All right.
Mouseageddon. Pre-nerf, the mouse is back.
Yeah. Well, I hear they might end up balancing it out. So.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a bad chat medium tank player, so playing against mice and playing the mouse is just crazy. It's not what I'm used to. I'm used to TVP 1,200 damage run away for.
You gotta feel like someone just kind of slowed down everything all of a sudden. Everything's in slow motion around you.
Yeah. All right. Any final words before we let you go, sir, and celebrate with your team?
I mean, that was a great game. AM60s played great. I think we screwed up a lot, but new meta just came out, so we're practicing on that a lot. And I think Putin played, the best play I've ever seen from Putin, holding out that last game.
Oh, dude, and, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was really interesting. We were in TeamSpeak. We just said, "All right, everyone, be quiet. Just let him play."
And he just did it. No one said anything. Yeah. No one coached him.
I mean, I laughed when the mouse missed the shot, but I probably shouldn't be saying that.
It happens. All right. Thank you so much for joining us up here, Aggressor. You're wonderful to have on the broadcast. We'll see you next time.
I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. All right. That was Aggressor to give us his thoughts.